Well, I'm sitting here with Barb Rehg, who came up with the idea for the Draw for Days. So Barb, tell us a little bit about the drawing marathon and how you came up with the Draw for Days.
Do you want to start back at the inception of it? So 3 years ago, I addressed the board and asked them if they were interested in a drawing program, because I had experienced a drawing marathon like 14 years prior to that, and it had stuck in my memory and had shifted my head enough that I found it exciting. And so I was looking for a format that would enable us to get as many of our members involved as possible. And so we came up with the idea that we would visit one another's studios, and depending on how large the studio was, determined how many artists could then participate on that particular day. So we've actually done this for 3 years almost, and the idea was to simply continue it as long as somebody wanted to do it. And then about 4 months ago, I got the opportunity to have all the drawings that had been done over the last 3 years in a drawing exhibit in Tryon, North Carolina. And so that was something I'd always hoped we could do. And then about 4 months ago, Ann Rhodes, who is one of our members, introduced me to Paul Light from Further Poly Contemporary Gallery is the title of his gallery. And she said, I think he will be really excited about this idea of doing a drawing marathon in his space. And so initially, I think the idea was, wouldn't it be great to have a whole bunch of us do a multi-day event? But I had never quite envisioned it in such a public space as this is. And the fact that this is a really public space, so it's become almost a performance, is, I think, interesting. And the fact that the group has bought into this and has allowed themselves to do it, to be out in the public while they are working on what they normally do in their studio privately, I think is brave, and I think it's created a different energy with this whole thing that's going on right now. So the draw for 4 days was simply the fact that Paul said, okay, you can have the gallery for a week. So I was thinking, okay, we need to prep the space, then how many days can we realistically draw and not get totally blasted and, too tired? And then we wanted to have a closing reception, so a week seemed about just the right time. And so I said, this is perfect. So that's kind of how Draw 4 Days kind of came about.
So this is the end of the first day of actual working, right? So
Yes.
It was set up yesterday, and today's day one.
Yes.
What is your reaction? Is it everything you hoped it would be? Is it totally different, or where are we?
I have no preconceived notions about what it could be. I'm not one of these people who micromanages or plans things out to the nth degree, that's one of my weak points. It can also be a strength,
Probably a strength
but
here.
it allows me to not get, I want to say, upset or wigged out when things don't go as planned, because there is no plan. So I like the energy, and I like the fact that everybody is doing their own thing. And my highest hope was that everybody would come away from the whole experience saying, I really enjoyed that, and yeah, I could do it again. Probably the worst case scenario was everybody said, oh my God, what did you get us into? But that hasn't happened, so,
Right.
Already I'm ahead of the game, so.
So day one has been successful.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing what happens. Is there anything else that you want to put on a video?
But we're going to post photos each day, up until Wednesday night. And then Thursday, we're not going to show anybody what happened on that final day of drawing, because I want to actually create some sort of mystery that will maybe make them want to come to the closing reception to say, okay, how did this all really turn out?
Right.
So they may start following a specific artist, which
Right.
would be the coolest thing.
Yes.
And then they want to come on Friday and say, how did you finish that?
Right.
That would be the best.
And then there's the artist talk on Saturday, too, if they want more detail, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Great.
Thank you.
Thanks.